while the remainder are considered developing or needing additional support. Almost 94% of eligible students participated in the tests, the highest rate since before the pandemic. The results reveal little overall improvement compared with previous years, despite a slight lift across year groups. Reading outcomes showed nearly 70% of students met or surpassed standards, while in mathematics the figure was slightly lower at 67%. Around 1 in 10 students was flagged as needing extra help. The data also highlights persistent gaps between students in regional and remote areas compared with those in urban schools. Education Minister Jason Clare said new public school funding agreements tied to reforms targeting literacy and numeracy aim to drive improvement. But the opposition argues the results prove the system is failing, calling for urgent measures to ensure Australian students get the strong educational foundation they deserve.
A former New South Wales police officer has been awarded $2.3 million in damages after a workplace car accident, catastrophic injuries, and the amputation of her arm. Senior Constable Gillian Oliver, then 34, was injured in 2010 while transporting uprooted cannabis plants from an illegal plantation in Dingo Tops State Forest. Her vehicle, a heavily loaded Ford Ranger not fitted with off-road tires, lost control and plunged down a steep embankment. In a Sydney District Court ruling, Acting Judge Leonard Levy SC found NSW Police had breached its duty of care, causing Oliver's complete destruction of earning capacity. He cited both physical injuries and psychological trauma, including complex regional pain syndrome and major depressive disorder, which left Oliver unable to work. Oliver alleged the vehicle was dangerously overloaded and that police failed to provide training, equipment, or safety guidance. The court heard 7 similar rollovers had occurred in the force within 15 months before the crash. Rejecting claims of contributory negligence, Levy said responsibility lay with NSW Police. The payout includes $1.12 million for lost future earnings. Oliver now lives with permanent disability, her life blighted by pain and psychological suffering.
Famed Australian crocodile wrangler and television personality Matt Wright has been found guilty of obstructing justice after a 2022 helicopter crash with his friend and co-star. Wright, best known for Outback Wrangler and Netflix's Wild Croc Territory, faced 3 charges of perverting the course of justice. On Friday, a Darwin Supreme Court jury convicted him on 2 counts, lying to police about fuel levels and pressuring an injured pilot to falsify records while failing to reach a verdict on a 3rd. The crash claimed the life of Chris Willow Wilson, who was suspended from the aircraft harvesting crocodile eggs. Pilot Sebastian Robinson suffered serious injuries. Investigators later ruled the helicopter ran out of fuel mid-flight. Prosecutors argued Wright feared being blamed for the crash, accusing him of tampering with records and disconnecting hour meters to conceal excessive flight times. Wright, who denied wrongdoing, said outside court he was disappointed with the verdict but intends to appeal. The judge granted him bail, noting an appeal was highly likely. Once a global tourism ambassador, Wright's conviction marks a dramatic fall from grace for the Outback adventurer.
Some of Australia's top chief executives are earning salaries more than 50 times the average worker's pay, new data shows. The Australian Council of Superannuation Investors, ACSI, found that CEO pay at ASX-listed companies has grown at more than double the rate of national wage rises. The median realised pay for a top 150 CEO last year was $4.15 million, a modest increase from $3.96 million a decade ago. News Corp's US-based chief, Robert Thompson, topped the list, receiving $41.88 million. Luvisa Jewelry Chain's former CEO, Victor Herrero, was the highest-paid Australian-based executive, with $39.55 million before stepping down in May. Macquarie Group boss Shimara Wickramanayake was the highest-paid woman at $29.76 million. The report also found termination payments for the top 100 CEOs have dropped to their lowest levels in 15 years following post-GFC reforms. However, almost all surveyed executives received multi-million-dollar bonuses regardless of company performance. While Australian CEO pay is striking, it still trails the US, where top bosses make on average 348 times the pay of workers.
Canada and India appoint new high commissioners, signalling a reset in relations after months of expulsions and strained diplomacy.
Canada and India have appointed new high commissioners, signalling a cautious reset in relations nearly a year after both expelled each other's top diplomats. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand announced Christopher Cooter as Canada's new envoy to New Delhi. Cooter, a 35-year veteran diplomat, previously served in Israel, South Africa and India. India has named Dinesh Patnaik, also with 35 years of experience and currently ambassador to Spain, as its next envoy to Ottawa. Relations collapsed in 2023 when Ottawa accused Indian agents of involvement in the killing of Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar near Vancouver, prompting reciprocal expulsions. The tensions followed years of friction over Sikh separatism and Canada's criticism of Indian policies. Prime Minister Mark Carney has sought to mend ties, inviting Narendra Modi to the G7 summit and initiating structured security talks to manage disputes more constructively. The rapprochement has divided opinion. Sikh groups warn Ottawa not to ignore human rights, while business leaders and Hindu organizations see closer relations as essential for trade and technology. Both governments say they expect a gradual restoration of trust, with trade talks and consular staffing among priorities in the months ahead.
Parts of Nunavut, including Baffin Island and Resolute, received rare August snowfall, first of its kind since 2001.
Residents of northern Canada are witnessing a rare weather event, their first August snowfall in nearly a quarter-century. Environment Canada confirmed that northern areas of Nunavut, including Baffin Island and Resolute, saw flakes fall on Thursday, with a few centimetres expected to accumulate before tapering off